Ciao a tutti, ciao, and welcome here in Tuscany. Welcome to my cooking school near Lucca, here in Tuscany. And someone asked me last time to introduce myself, and so I tell you that I introduce myself. I am Erika. I am the owner of Cuoche in Vacanza, that is English, is Italian for chefs on vacation, and I hope on your vacation. So I run cooking classes and private dinners. I am a professional chef going throughout Tuscany directly to your villas or place where you are on vacation. And now I have also a cooking school, a brick and mortar place, and a bed and breakfast near Lucca in San Ginese, and so in Tuscany, and I'm very happy to host guests here as well as a brick and mortar place. And now I like to run cooking classes online, and here in streaming I am running a free Facebook streaming to keep in touch with my customers, with my students, and furthermore with my friends that I knew during my vacation, my working vacation, tell you the truth, because it's a pleasure for me to work, but it's always a job, okay? And so, girls, this time we are looking for making something that is really special and is really Tuscan. You know, I like pass down what is the Tuscan cooking, what is the kind of making something homemade and fresh, and so I'm really happy to be with you. And what I want to tell you is that if you are here on the page, you know, I just ask you a favor, if it's possible, that you share this Facebook streaming on our group. Dolce Vita in Tuscany Food and Wine Vacation, because I can't right now. So if you do this, you give me a favor. Ciao Janine, Mwah! I'm very happy to see you. Ciao Elisabetta anche. Ciao ciao ciao. This is a really good recipe, and so I'd like that you share on your profile or with a group for the wine vacation, because so many people can learn to make this. That is very simple, you know, only simple, only quick recipes, but delicious. And simple is not easy, but delicious in this way. Ciao Marinella, how are you? Come stai? Tantissimo tempo, Marinella. So girls, let's go with this fantastic recipe. And you know that I wrote a surprise. There was a surprise. What's the surprise? The surprise is that I'd like to teach you the first sauce that we can make with gnudi. You know what's the meaning of gnudi? Gnudi is naked, because these are without the roping of the pasta. So there is oh, ciao Rachel Iannacci! Bene, bene, yes, excited, yes. And so they are naked. And gnudi is the Tuscan word, it's not Italian word, it's a Tuscan dialect word to say that something or someone is completely naked. So let's go with the butter and sage sauce. You know, during our cooking classes we are making it with crispy sage. Here is not necessary because gnocchi gnudi are made in something special, homemade and fresh, and so maybe it's better that you season them with something yellow colored. So it's very good also the tomato sauce. But let's go with the butter and sage. The sage now in Tuscany is very fresh, is autumnal, winter is perfect. Then will be the flour and will be a bit different. Ciao Judy, ciao. You can ask me everything you need, because in 5 minutes I go and see to the phone, to the camera, and I answer you. And remember, even when the streaming is over, I jump here again and I'll answer to all your questions. So don't worry to tell me, to make me questions, because I'll be here with you. I don't leave you. This is a promise. And if you are following the page, go to the page Cooking Classes in Tuscany, Cuoche and Vacanza. There are the 3 points. You go to follow, settings and notifications, so we are in touch for every streaming, for everything that we are going to make. Okay, so we are a big group, we can start. Guys, I take you here near my fire. Hope that you can see. Okay, so you can see my small pot. This is the pot for butter and sage, ok? Ecco qua. This is the amount of butter. In my case is 50 grams, that is 3 tablespoons. And in this case it's not necessary to use a crispy sage, but I already told you before. And this is the fantastic sage that we have. So we turn up the fire, we take a spoon, eccoci, and we can go melting the butter. So as I told you, it's not necessary, it's really, really crispy. But I want anyway to show you that some sage we can throw directly in the butter. Don't use the salted butter, please, but it's okay the unsalted one. This is big. So you see a lot of sage. We are not using a little sage because we need to make a rich sauce. First trick that I want to tell you, now we are going to add to the butter some extra virgin oil. This one. You know why? You know why, girls? Because the butter has a burning point very low, and so we are using the extra virgin oil that is a high burning point, and this is perfect for our sauce. And we don't risk everything burns. So here for this sauce, I want that the camera is just watching this sauce, because I want that you can see the change of colors. It's not so easy maybe with the camera, with the light, but maybe you can. So we have to reach something that has many points, brown points here, and the sage will change color from green to gray, and this happens in a few minutes. And when you are going to do this, you see that you have to watch your sauce, otherwise you risk that everything can burn. So this is a delicate process, but is necessary, and I want that you can look at this, because it's a trick that you can bring with you. So you had some extra virgin oil, and you are sure that the burning point is higher. We wait. If you take a fork, now there is another small trick. You take a fork and you touch delicate the sage leaf. When you see that the sage leaf is soft, is not ready for the crispy sage. When you see that touching is crispy, this is perfect. Now, as I told you here, we don't want the crispy sage. We just want a golden sauce, as I told you. So, for the crispy sage, we have to wait 1 minute more. But at this point, I can turn off the fire, because we want another kind of sauce, just butter and sage. So this is stop. I want to show you the color, that is a golden one. But we stop and we leave the sage there. Eccoci qua. We leave the sage there because in this way we are sure that everything will be okay, and it's still cooking again, so we have not to be afraid for the burning, but we leave there. So let's go with our gnudi, okay? This is a recipe that you can do without kneading by your hands, but just in the bowl. Sorry Gianile, okay, Gloria. Allora, so let's start with the spinach. These are the spinach. What is the first trick? So the gnocchi gnudi are a recipe that you see at home, fresh, homemade, but you see also to the restaurants. So I try to pass down to you some tricks that you can do to the restaurant, for example. So giving people something that is a different shape. In Italy, in Tuscany, we usually make the shape as a canal or little small balls. If you don't want to make the canal, it's perfect as well. But usually at the restaurant, you eat in this way. But the first trick is that you have not to whisk or to blend the spinach, but please, you have to cut with a knife. And this is the first step that I want to show you. You know the amount of ingredients. We have 300 grams of spinach. I recommend you they have to be well drained, okay? So we coarsely chop this. We don't want blend because we want to have the flavor, the crispy flavor of the spinach under our feet. So we don't want to blend absolutely, okay? And here we have our coarsely chopped spinach, and we put here. Remember, drain the spinach, then use a knife to cut them, okay? Perfetto. At this point, we add to this some cheese that in my case, you know, is Parmigiano Cheese. In the measure of 3 tablespoons, okay? 1, 2, 3, they are full tablespoons. Now we are going to add the ricotta cheese, this one, 200 grams, that is 7 ounces, so 7 ounces of ricotta cheese, and the spinach are 10 ounces. This I recommend you well drained. So we go with this, and we put this here. Now we need absolutely a fork, and we go just pressing the fork here, and while we have everything mixed but coarsely, we have to add 1 egg. I have 1 fresh egg, some egg from my farmer, my favorite oh, look at the feather. You see? Okay. Okay, so this, you can't say that they are not fresh, girls? Perfetto. Là. So we go to whisk and mix together. You see, now we are not yet using the flour. And this is an important trick after that one of chopping tomatoes with a knife. Because we had the flour only at the end. This gives a delicious consistency and texture to our recipe. We go with some nutmeg. Just like you prefer. Some black pepper, these are all the flavor, typical flavor from Tuscany, eh? Guys, this is really the flavor from Tuscany. And now we got to take some salt, and then we have to taste, of course. So you see, everything is green and white. There is not an only color. Janine, nutmeg makes things delicious. Yes, yes. And this is a particular kind of nutmeg. If you see that we have some pieces inside and then we grate. It's a strange one, but it's nice. Eh? At this point, we can add our flour, as I told you. So we had... I go with my pot over the fire. So we are sure it's boiling. And in this case, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. 1, 2, 3. That are usually 60 grams. And we mix. In the original recipe, you have not to put the flour inside your gnudi, but you go to add the flour only outside, because you can make it directly in the pot. So you give the shape and then you put them in the pot. But in this case, we have to make them, and we have to make more than 1 or 2 and put in the pot. So it's a streaming, and it's important that I show you how we can do, okay? So at this point, as you can see, we stop it with mixing, otherwise everything is too much hot. But it's important now the temperature. If you are at home now that you have your doughs with the ricotta cheese and spinach, you can put this in the fridge and let it rest 30 minutes, 20 minutes, it's okay. No problem. Now we are streaming, and we have to make it immediately. And so let's go with our quenelle to make it, okay? Perfetto. We take like this. You can, as I told you, you can take a bowl and then put this in the flour. But also a quenelle is really nice. First of all, I go to put some flour here. So after, when I put my gnocchi gnudi, I'm sure they don't stick, because we don't go immediately and directly in the pot, as I told you before. Huh? Put this here, so maybe you can see. Tell me in case. So we take this and we go to do this. You go down 3, 4, 5, 6, and in general you stop. Then take this and go down here. You can also use some flour. Someone takes some water in a glass. Sorry, I didn't find the word. Okay, so we take it again, our those, you see, to make the canal. I repeat, you can also do, you see something that go down, la, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in general at the 6, 7, you can put down. And you have to beat, to beat a little. We take off this, because it's necessary to beat for canal, always. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, you see there is the exceed, because we have 2 different spoons in this case, and you go to beat, and you stay there. Don't worry, nothing will be lost. 1, 2, the exceed, you see, oh sorry, the exceed, you see, go down, so don't worry, because go in your bowl. 1, 2, 3, and press. 4, 5, 6, 7, you take, and you go down beating. Okay. We take again, clean your spoon. I repeat, you can also take some flour if you want. And you go again. 1, press, why you go in this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we go down. Then we can also proceed to make. If I take, for example, a big spoon like this, there is no problem, because everything will be adjusted when I work it. So I take this and I go up 1. You see, everything is here in this part, so no problem. 2, 3, and I press. 4, 5, 6. In this case, this is bigger, and so I do one more round. 7, 8, and I go here. We can take just one more just to show you. Clean our spoon. The canal of the gnocchi gnudi, they are not so beautiful, but they are delicious. So with the ice cream is completely different. It's much better, beautiful. So we go again. Ready? 1, and press. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see, there is something that go down. That is this, and this is perfect. And we go here. Now we have no more space, but we leave this here. Okay, I just leave this in another place, and I want to show you. Maybe you can see me from here. Eccomi. So you can see the pot. And I go to boil this in the pot. Usually when you make gnocchi gnudi, you directly give the shape with the canal and then put in the pot immediately. But if you are more people, you can't, because obviously you have a lot of this. So this is what I suggest you. You take a tray, you put some parchment paper, you put some flour over, and then your gnocchi gnudi. At this point, I can also sprinkle them with some flour again. Okay, so I want to show you this. Look at what I was telling you is that sometimes in Tuscany we just put only at this time the flour. Okay, so I want to show you the pot. The water is boiling and there is the salt. The salt that in Italy we use for pasta is that one. Coarse salt. And now it's a bit difficult because I'm going to put this in the pot, and you know, when you are going to put them immediately is much better and much easier. Huh? Okay. Maybe in this way it's more comfortable for you. Ecco fatto. So we go with one of this and we dip. The other and we dip. The other one and we dip in the water. Look at me. They are really, really delicate. So please be careful. Carefully, you have to throw them very carefully. And when you make them, always count that maybe 1 or 2 will be destroyed. But it's not said. This is not said. And so now we wait the magic will be on, because the gnudi are ready, you know when they are ready, as the gnocchi. So gnudi are ready when they come up, and this is a really, really simple, delicious and fantastic way to enjoy them, because we are sure that is not like the pasta that sometimes is al dente, sometimes is too cooked. With this you have just to wait that the flour is cooked, and so is really easy, simple and fantastic, because anyway you are sure that they will be very delicious. So now they are always down and they are not ready, but immediately, very, very quick, they will be here. And I want to drain them in this plate and want to show you how they are, because this dish is really delicious, and I'm sure you like it very much. What makes some fall apart in the water and some not? If you you have to put all in the water, but if you make for 1 or 2 people, you can make the canal and immediately put in the water. Otherwise, if you are in the gnocchi for 8 people, for example, you can't immediately, because otherwise one is cooked and the other are always still cooking, and so it's too slow. So what I suggest, you take the parchment paper with flour and you are sure they cook all together, but it's more difficult after to take with a spoon. That's why you have to sprinkle with flour, and so you are sure, because the flour go in the water and is perfect, nothing happens. I don't know if I answered your question, Rachel. Tell me if I answered, and otherwise I will be more precise if I well understand. I want to show you. You see? They are up, okay? You can see they are up. So I go to take this. That are cooked. This is very big for them. Sorry, my shoulder. Remember that you have to drain, but obviously they will be obviously wet. Then I show you the plate, girls, don't worry. This is really big. And now okay, we are going to make this. That is maybe, I want to show you at their best, in the best way. I alerted you they are not so precise as shape, but I want to show you as well. Okay, so we take our paper, clean our plates, ecco fatto, and we want to take our sauce. Perfetto. I hope that you can see this. This is a fresh homemade sauce, gnocchi Gnudi. This age with the butter as a golden color, and so we are going to put our butter over. And also some sage inside. Okay. Ecco fatto. So as you can see, we have the butter for the other, for our sauce for the other person. So this is our place. There is not Ginevra, so I can show you the the picture of this. Where we are utilizing them. No, Rachel, yes, they are delicious. I have not cut them. I don't slice. We take the fork and they are very soft. If you want, I show you, because this is a plate that you have to see because it's fantastic. And this is the Tuscan tradition, gnocchi Gnudi. So you have just to take this. You see? This is very soft. You can cut with a fork, okay? They are very delicate, yes, they are very light, delicate. Remember that you can put the pecorino cheese if you want to use the pecorino cheese instead of Parmigiano Reggiano. And they are really, really delicious and simple. You see, just be careful because they are delicate. So when you put in the water, someone say, they are destroyed. No, if you work them and if you put, mine was very difficult to make because we are on streaming and we make everything immediately. So these were difficult, but if you put in the fridge, you can be sure that nothing will be destroyed because they take the cold from the fridge and they will be perfect at your table. And you have to remember that you have not to be a chef to make a delicious dish. Just be respectful for the nature, season and fresh ingredients, and you'll have a delicious dish. Yes, of course, I salt the water because Marta asked me if I salt the water. Yes, you always salt the water, and in Italy we use for 1 liter of water 1 pinch. So when you use, of course, salt, pardon. So more, remember, another trick for the pasta, not for the gnudi, but for the pasta. More water you have for the pasta, better is the pasta. So it will be no glue, it will be perfect. If you have lots of water, and if you start from cold water, when you put them in boiling water, do you continue rub it boil till finished? So, okay, no, when you put them in the boiling water, you just wait, they come up. As they, you saw mine were 3, 4 together. No, because I was talking with you. You stay there, you wait they are up, you drain and you put in the plate. You drain and you put in the plate immediately. So you don't wait they are 3 or 4. When they come up, they are perfect. Can they be frozen? No, I don't think they can. So they can be frozen. Yes, the answer is yes, but that is very difficult. So what I suggest you is you make them fresh. If you find your texture, your right consistency, you can freeze them with no problem. I often freeze them, so there is no problem. But if you make now, for example, the first time that you learn to make them and you froze them, after when you go to the water from the freezer or you defrost them, they are too smashing. So you have to find the right consistency, and then you can freeze them when they are raw, not when they are cooked. Always from raw you can freeze. We are welcome. You're welcome. So girls, I hope we see again. Not next Friday because I will not here. I go to make a small trip, and so I'll maybe talk of my trip in our group Dolce Vita in Tuscany Food and Wine Vacation. Will you share the recipe, Mr. De Beni? Of course, I share the recipe, of course. There are the ingredients and there is the video that you can follow. And as I write the recipe, I share it. Anyway, you see with the video there are all the steps and the ingredients are here in the event. Oh, bene! Church loved by cat tongues. Bene. You were great to make them, Janine, but I was sure. And did you make the zabaione as well? Zabaione with cat tongue cookies is fantastic. Oh, thank you, Marta. Thank you to you. Hope to meet you. Hope to see you again. Repeat, I don't think we can see next Friday, but maybe the week after. If you keep in touch with me and if you stay with me here on Cooking Classes in Tuscany, I'll update you about the next streaming where we can learn something of Tuscan or of Italian. And if you have an idea of a recipe that you want to learn, tell me and I try to make them. Okay, so thank you very much, and I wish you a nice weekend and buona fortuna a tutti, buona serata e vi saluto. Ciao a tutti ragazzi, ciao alla prossima, ciao. Stay safe. Thank you Marta, thank you. Ciao Pina, ciao, grazie a voi.